had what I didn't have, my husband. What does this statement cause? What effect does this statement has on your minds? What do you think? So Pulela Gopichand's wife, who gave a statement that PV Sindhu had a very good coach in the form of my husband, this news was written in the newspaper with the headline that PV Sindhu had what I didn't have, my husband. And this is what I am here to talk about. I'm here to talk about news versus views. If you will see, news is considered to be pure, unchanged and clean. Whereas if we talk about views, views can be doctored, manipulated or biased. That is the basic difference between these two things. Are we aware about the fact or the term trial by media? What do we understand by trial by media? Where a person's reputation, where a person's personal incident or something is already being damaged, his reputation is being damaged by media. Even before the particular case has been taken into the courts, the judgment has already been given by the media. And this is sadly what happens. I read a statement, there was a very big article in the newspaper which said, in a leading newspaper, that a lady died while she was waiting outside a bank in the queue to take out some money. The entire page of a newspaper, 1/4 of it was dedicated to this news item. Now I'll tell you what happened, the funny part. Exactly 2 days back, the bank clarified that we don't even have a branch in that particular city. So the newspaper offered an apology. The size of the apology was a mere 150 words and it was at the corner in the inside half of the newspaper. Now do you think the reputation of the ruling government, let's not talk about politics in this case, but the ruling government's decision was actually made into bad light in the eyes of the viewers? Does that happen a lot of times? How many of you here are aware about the Jasleen Kaur incident? We know about that? When she tried defaming Mr. Sarabjit, and the way Sarabjit was treated by media people, by Twitterati, by people on Facebook, he was already decided that he's a very big criminal. In fact, I saw one of his interviews and the news anchor was asking him questions. How can you do such a step? This is so drastic. How can you demean a woman in the middle of the road? Even before the harsh reality came out, he was already termed as a criminal. And later on, when the actual facts came out, that it was because that girl wanted to become famous, so she tried demeaning and defaming Mr. Kaur, Mr. Sarabjit, the damage was already done. Even Sonakshi Sinha then wrote an apology that being a woman, I thought that a woman cannot do anything like this, so I supported her. And this is what happens. The big media houses and the news channels are only thinking about the viewer base, the numbers and the television rating point, which is known as TRP. I have one more question. What do you think is the major reason of mixing views with news? Do you think the major reason is the people, all of us? I'll give you 2 examples. Now let's suppose we are walking on a road. At the side of the road, there's a person who's praying. Any one of you, are you going to stand there and see that person who's praying? In another situation, if there's a fight, second scenario. How do you buy milk? A milkman comes to your house every morning, delivers milk to your house. And how do you buy liquor? You stand in a queue, we are ready to wait there for any length of time to buy liquor. The problem is that we people like chaos. We like chaos, we read chaos, we forward chaos. In WhatsApp messages, we are forwarding text, we are forwarding data, we are forwarding content, which we are not even sure whether this data is right or appropriate or not. The sad part is that the show which has the highest TRP on Indian television is a show which only shows fights and fights. The show starts with a fight, in the middle you have a fight, then when advertisements are coming, they'll show that on the other side of the advertisements, we'll again have a fight. Then they show another fight, and when the particular show ends, when they say what is going to come on the next day, they again show some fights. But still, each and every one of us sees those news articles, reads those news articles, we forward information, without even thinking the kind of impact that it would create on people. My father had forwarded me a text on WhatsApp. It was something related to the new 2000 rupee note, and it was something like that after 3 years, the entire color of the note will demean, will go away, and it would become a blank paper. So this is Mr. Modi's strategy. I said, have you checked, have you verified as to what you are forwarding is true? The problem is that even educated people like us, even intelligent people like us, we fall to all these things. You know, just like he said, there are lakhs and lakhs of websites which are being created by people with vested interests. And in those websites, you don't have news, you just have views. But people, because of their political ambitions, people because of their interests, people because they are biased towards one political party, we share all those content. And that is why all these things are coming up. The worst part is that the only channel which shows news is Doordarshan, but nobody sees Doordarshan today. So I urge each and every one of you, please do not share any information without verifying it. You also know that in various WhatsApp groups, a lot of information comes which needs to be stopped. And these things can actually lead to a lot of problems in the future. So let's work upon all these things. Let's work on good things. Let's keep news and try not to mix both of these things. Because the duty of newspapers, TV shows and other things is to provide us with just news which is unbiased and not views. Thank you so much.